Welcome to Greenbelt Art Center's presentation of Fibber McGee and Molly, Valentine Candy. Some people think it would be a great thing if we were able to peer into the future. Personally, we think it's a blessing that we can't. For instance, here at 79 Wistful Vista sits the lady of the house, darning socks for the man of the house, who doesn't know that a messenger boy is approaching with, what can be in store for Fibber McGee and Molly?
Well, McGee, you'll have to buy some new socks.
Huh?
I've done these so many times, they're practically handmade.
Okay, I'll get some tomorrow. But it's an awful nuisance. Gee, I wish I was a kid again and I could go barefooted.
Do you really?
Well, no, not really. These guys keep yearning for their childhood days or just kidding themselves. I wouldn't go through that again for $1,000,000.
Why not?
Oh, I was a regular little gangster when I was a kid.
Oh, go on.
Did I ever tell you about the morning that I and Skinny Crandall and Bones Biddle and Sticky Hooper tied a wire across the schoolhouse steps? Well, then we waited in the bushes for the teacher to show up.
Look, no. No, you nasty boy. So, what happened?
Well, we waited till noon, and then suddenly we realized it was Saturday. So we started running down the old swimming hole, and I tripped on the wire and darn near busted my front.
Come in.
Package from Miss McGee.
For me.
Are you Miss McGee?
Well, what do I have to do? Show you a marriage license?
No, I can see Mr. McGee. Nobody else lives with him.
Fresh kid. Why, when I was his age, I was polite and thoughtful.
Sure you were, you little gangster. Well, I wonder what it is. Oh, heavenly days. 4 pounds of Valentine's Day candy?
Oh, well, who's that from?
Oh, as if you didn't know.
Huh?
You darling. You did remember, didn't you?
Ain't there a note in there or something?
Well, why should there be? Who'd be sending Valentine candy but you?
Valentine?
And my favorite, too.
Well, I'm glad you like it, Molly. What kind is it?
Oh, now listen, don't be so coy. Oh, McGee.
Oh, huh?
You can't fool me.
No. Well, Valentine's Day comes but once a year, so they say. Or is that Christmas? Oh no. Well, no. Well, it's Valentine's Day too, I guess. Is there any? Didn't I put a note in it?
Well, I don't see any. But you didn't have to. If a man can't send Valentine to his wife without a lot of explanation, I'd like to know who on earth could happen to.
Oh.
Hello there, Johnny. Hello, daughter. Hey, can I speak to you alone a minute, Johnny?
Why, sure. Excuse us a minute, Molly.
Certainly, go right ahead.
What's on your mind, old timer?
Look, I'm selling Valentines, Johnny. I want to buy one for the kid. Nothing women appreciate more than a little touch of sentiment, you know.
No thanks, old timer. She just got a big box of candy for a Valentine.
She did, eh? Good for you, Johnny.
Well, I don't know whether it is or not. Just between you and me, I don't remember sending them to her.
Well, then you better buy one of these, Johnny. Send it too.
Oh, no. Then she'd get suspicious.
Well, don't be a fool, Johnny. The more you send them, the better they like it.
Huh?
Here. The beauty, all lace and stuff. Yeah, it says, roses are sweet, and so is your soul. I'm going to throw out my sugar and put you in the bowl.
No, thanks. I don't want any Valentines, old timer. I don't mind wearing my heart on my sleeve, but I hate the idea of a mailman dragging it all around town in the rain. Thanks anyway.
Okay, Johnny. Sorry to keep you waiting, daughter. Just wanted to talk a little business here with Johnny.
Oh, that's all right, Mr. Oldtimer. I was busy darning his socks anyway. Just look at how there's holes in them.
Yes, he's a holy terror, ain't he? Well, I got to get back to my job, kids. I'll be seeing you.
What do you mean your job? What are you doing?
I'm a caretaker down at the Wistful Vista Recreation Center.
Oh.
Keep the tennis courts in condition.
Oh, must be quite a chore.
No, just a few swipes with a cloth of Johnson's wax and I'm caught up for several days.
Johnson's wax? On a tennis court?
Yep, table tennis, Johnny. Well, so long, kids.
Oh, McGee. I wish you never got me this candy. I just can't keep my hands out of it. It's so good. You like it?
Well, sure I like it. Well, why shouldn't I like it?
Well, you keep eyeing the box as if you were afraid I was going to eat you or something.
I do? Well, I guess I got a complex about candy ever since my mother used to feed me butterscotch to pull out my baby teeth. Never believe in that old string on the door now business myself.
Well, there's no butterscotch in this candy, dearie.
Well, that's what I keep telling my teeth. Besides, oh, hey, who's that walking around upstairs?
Oh, poor Uncle Dennis. He's all upset.
About what?
Oh, he thinks of starting a lawsuit against Walt Disney.
Walt Disney?
Yep.
What for?
Oh, that pink elephant sequence in Dumbo? Uncle Dennis says he saw him first.
He's all wet. You can't copyright a hangover. Anyway, what right does he have?
Come in.
Good day, Mrs. McGee. Good day, McGee.
Oh, hi, Latrivia.
Hello, Mr. Mayor. Have some candy.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm on a low-carbohydrate diet.
Well, you better stock up on them then, Latriv. They tell me that there's going to be a shortage of low carbohydrates.
You don't say. If I might make a suggestion, McGee, it would be to the effect that people who have no clear comprehension of the subject under discussion would be well advised to maintain a discreet silence.
I don't get it.
Well, he said, dearie, that if ignorance is bliss, happy days are here again. Or, if you don't know what you're talking about when you pipe up, pipe down.
Oh, yeah? Well, now look here, Latrivia.
Just a moment, McGee. Will you please refrain hereafter?
Don't ask him to make any promises about the hereafter, Mr. Mayor. His forwarding address is unknown.
Well, and what are you talking about anyway, Latrivia? And quit shaking your finger in my face. I'm liable to think it's Halloween and start knobbing for knuckles.
Oh, all right, but hereafter, McGee, please refrain from telling motorcycle policemen that you are a close relation of mine and they can't do that to you.
Do what to you, McGee?
Well, if he's referring to what I think he's referring to, he means that I got a ticket yesterday for parking 8 minutes overtime.
For parking 1 hour and 8 minutes overtime.
Well, can I help it if I forgot to set my watch back last Sunday night?
You weren't supposed to set it back. You were supposed to set it ahead.
Well, in that case, it would be 2 hours and 8 minutes.
Oh, it'd be no such a thing. I'd be 8 minutes less than 1 hour. There's 2 hour parking on Oak Street. So the city owes me 52 minutes.
Now, wait a minute, boys. Let's get this straight. Let's say you parked at exactly 3 o'clock and you...
But I didn't. I parked at 8 minutes to 4.
Oh, for goodness sakes. You might at least park on the even hour. The odd minutes make these arguments too confusing.
Yes, anyway, McGee, the justness of the complaint does not concern me. What I object to is your assuming that I, as mayor of Wistful Vista, would use the power of my office to obstruct the due processes of law. Furthermore, you had no business telling the officer that I was your nephew on your mother's side.
Will you leave my mother out of this, Latrivia? A fine thing, dragging a guy's family into a sort of case like this. For shame! For shame!
But McGee, he didn't say that.
And to think, a guy like him is our mayor. Isn't it enough that him and his Cossack cops ride roughshod all over our common citizens? No, he's got to get personal.
Now, just a minute, McGee. You were the one who started.
Oh, no, you dragged my family through the mud and the slime of a court trial, holding up to public ridicule just
All right, I'll fix the ticket. I'll fire the policeman. I'll resign. Oh, forget it.
Wait, I should have been a lawyer.
But you had no business telling the policeman that the mayor was your nephew.
Oh, no? I just proved it, didn't I? I made him holler, Uncle. Hey, give me a piece of that candy. Any chocolate-covered peanuts in there?
Well, you ought to know. You bought it.
Huh? I didn't specify every piece that went in the box.
I bet you did. Oh, there's everything I like in it. Oh, you're so thoughtful, McGee.
Oh, shucks.
Valentine's Day. I think it was Valentine's Day we first went out together, dearie.
Yeah? Oh, yeah. I carved our initials inside of a big heart in that old oak tree in the back of the brewery.
The schoolhouse.
I remember it was the brewery because the only grove of trees where you could hitch a horse to was behind the brewery.
McGee, the schoolhouse. For 20 years and more, I've been telling people it was the back of the schoolhouse. I can't change it now. Heavenly days. What's romantic about a brewery?
Well, if it had been the back of the schoolhouse, I'd ruined my jackknife. The only tree back there was a steel flagpole.
Well, just the same, I insist that you go out and...
Hello, folks.
Oh, hey there, Harlow. Have a piece of candy. It's wonderful.
Stop bragging, McGee.
I ain't bragging. I don't even know who... here, have a nougat, Harlow.
No, thanks. Say, do you people ever see Life magazine?
Yes, we do, Mr. Wilcox. He always gets Life, Collier's, The American Magazine, and Disturbing Detective. And anybody who'd read Disturbing Detective ought to get a Life. Hanging is too good.
But Molly, I gotta get Disturbing Detective on account of the back cover.
Why for the back cover?
I'm trying to see how long Charles Atlas can keep his chest expanded like that.
Why do you ask, Mr. Wilcox?
Well, the Johnson Wax people have got a double-page ad in Life next Friday, and I didn't want you to miss it. We're featuring the Consumer's Pledge for Total Defense.
What do you mean, pledge?
Well, look, here's one of the cards for Molly to sign. Read it, Molly.
All right. As consumer in the total defense of democracy, I will do my part to make my home, my community, my country ready, efficient, and strong. I will buy carefully. I will take good care of the things that I have. I will waste nothing. Place for signature, Consumer Division, Office of Price Administration. Well, I'll certainly sign that, Mr. Wilcox.
Thanks, Molly. This is mighty important right now. If there was ever a time to conserve and save and protect and preserve, it's today. And Johnson Wax does all of them in so many ways, it's a pretty necessary item on your kitchen shelf.
Oh, say, that reminds me. I'd better go in the kitchen and see if I have enough on hand. Excuse me a minute, boys.
Certainly, Molly. Well, now I'll have a chaw of your chocolates, chum.
Well, here, help yourself. And look.
Yeah?
You didn't see this. You didn't send this candy to Molly, did you?
Not me, pal. I don't send candy to married women. I'm allergic to buckshot. Why, didn't you?
Well, if I did, you can bop me with a bonbon if I remember doing it.
Well, maybe you walked in your sleep again and crashed a confectionery.
Say, I wonder if... Oh, no. Oh, that ain't possible. The candy stores aren't open that late. Still. Hey, you call on a lot of stores, don't you, Harlow?
Sure, now that I'm taking these pledge cards around.
Well, look, kind of snoop around and see if what you can find out, will you? See if a guy about my size wearing purple pajamas and green slippers,
Yeah.
with a sleepy look on his puss, came wandering in any place and bought a box of Valentine candy.
Hey, easy. Here she comes.
Oh,
Okay, pal. Okay, I'll tell George what you said. So long. See you later.
yeah. So long, George.
Hey, who's George McGee? And, what do you want Mr. Wilcox to tell him?
George?
Yes, George.
Oh, George. Oh, yeah. He's he meant old George Verhullis.
Who on earth is George Verhullis?
He used to have a tire shop out on 14th Street. Just sold it. Took up blacksmithing. I just told Harlow to wish him good luck. Though why anyone in the horseshoe business should need anybody to tell him that?
Pass me one of those coconut creams, McGee. They're delicious.
Oh, here.
Thank you. No, I don't know when a box of candy has got me this intrigued like this, dearie.
Well, yeah, me either. I mean, me too.
What?
I mean, well, I'm glad you like it, Molly. You always did like mixed chocolates, didn't you?
Yes. What you nice to remember.
Yes.
But then you were always thoughtful. Always the gentleman.
Yeah.
Remember that time I dropped my handkerchief at the dance, and you and Otis Caldwalder both rushed in and picked it up?
Yeah.
And bumped your heads together and knocking each other out?
Yeah, but I came too. That guy is still unconscious.
Oh my. You were jealous of him. I believe you still are.
Oh, I am not.
Hey, I saw in the paper last night that he's in town. What's the matter?
This candy choked me, and in fact, I think any of it would choke me.
What do you mean?
I mean that Otis Caldwaller. He might be the guy who, well, he'd make me choke on a caraway seed. Very mention of his name makes my blood boil.
I see. You are jealous. I never saw such a... Come in. Oh, hello, Mrs. Uppington.
Oh, how do you do, my dear? And Mr. McGee?
Hi, Uppy. Come on in out of the rain.
It's not raining, Mr. McGee.
It ain't? I'd have swore I saw a big drip in the doorway. Well, come on in anyway.
Thank you.
Have a hunk of candy, Abigail. Sweets to the sweets, you know.
In this case, a chocolate-covered dill pickle might be more appropriate.
McGee. Have one, Abigail.
Oh, no, thank you, my dear. No candy for me. I must keep my weight down, you know.
And you're doing swell at it too, Uppy.
Oh, do you think so, Mr. McGee?
Sure, I sure do. Why, what did I tell you just this morning, Molly?
Well, he said, isn't it wonderful how Mrs. Uppington keeps her figure?
Oh, now, really?
And I said, it certainly is.
Well, I do flatter myself.
And then I said, yes, but why would anyone want to keep a figure like that is beyond me.
Mr. McGee, please, I prefer not to speak of my dimensions.
Okay, Uppy, if you say so. They're unspeakable.
What? What?
He just means that if you prefer not to mention your weight, it's unmentionable.
Oh, I see. Well, I just stopped by, Mrs. McGee, to show you my new bracelet. See?
Heavenly days. Abigail, is that really yours?
Oh, boy.
Oh, boy. Don't tell me that that's genuine, Uppy.
Indeed it is, Mr. McGee.
Wow.
Oh, I spent more than I should for it, probably, but this is the sort of thing that will become a valuable heirloom, you see.
Well, you better be careful, Abigail. You don't let that lay around the house, do you?
Oh, no, my dear. In fact, I'm on my way to the bank right now to put it in the vault.
Well, I should hope so. That thing is practically irreplaceable.
Yes.
Of course it is. I just adore it. I am such a lucky girl to own a genuine solid gold rubber band. Well, good night.
Here, have some candy, McGee. Help yourself to all you want.
Oh.
Any man who remembers his wife like this for Valentine's Day deserves anything he can get.
I wish you quit saying that, Molly.
Why, for goodness sake. You did send it to me, didn't you?
Well, who'd you suppose sent it?
Well, then don't be modest. You certainly have changed since we were married.
I have? How so?
Oh, when we were going together and you'd send a box of Turkish Delights or a Tootsie Roll, you kept reminding me for weeks. You'd say, "How about a kiss, baby?" And then I'd say, "No, not now." And then you'd pout and say, "Okay, more saltwater taffy, none for you." And then I'd say,
Oh, now, come in.
Hello, folks.
"Oh, hello, Mr. Wimple."
Hiya, Wimple, old man. How's everything?
Oh, just peachy, Mr. McGee.
"Oh, you're looking very well, Mr. Wimple. Is your wife away?"
Oh, no. But Sweetie Face has been very busy with the new women's ambulance unit, Miss McGee.
The ambulance unit, eh?
Oh, yes.
She a nurse or a driver, Wimple?
Neither one, Mr. McGee. No, she holds up the ambulance while the other girls crawl under it and make repairs.
"Well, your wife is very strong, isn't she, Mr. Wimple?"
Oh, indeed she is. Why, do you know, I've seen her tie a bow knot in a steel crowbar.
Gee, really?
Yes, sirree.
Wow.
I don't mind telling you, I had a terrible time getting it off, too. My neck was sore for weeks.
Well, there's one thing about married life, Wimp. You'll never know what's coming next.
Yes, I suppose that's something to be thankful for, isn't it, Mr. McGee? But I really owe a lot to Sweetie Face.
Yeah?
She's made me what I am today.
"And what is that?"
Oh, come now. Let's not get clinical, Miss McGee.
Well, bring her over sometime, Wimp. I'll get 4 flat irons and we'll play peas porridge hot.
Oh, I just can't get her to go anywhere out socially, Mr. McGee. No, she says she'd rather stay home with her artwork.
"Oh, artwork. Does she paint too?"
Oh, indeed she does. She did a wonderful painting of 2 moonshiners working down in the Kentucky hills.
"Oh,
Well, what'd she call it?
Oh, still life. I'll never forget the time I asked her to paint me.
and did she do it?"
In a way she did, Mr. McGee. Yes, she gave me a beautiful shellacking. Yes, she did.
"Oh, I suppose she was just being playful."
Of course. And she has a grand sense of humor. And one day I said to her, Sweetie Face, let's not play so rough. And she said, all right, Wallace, let's play beanbag. And I said, oh, Daddy. And then everything went black. My goodness, I never knew those beads came in 500-pound bags. Well, good night, folks.
Oh, hey, we never offered Wimple any candy.
"Well, it's probably just as well. One Sweetie Face in the family ought to be enough for plenty."
Oh, yeah. Well, that's what he gets for being pushed around. He must come from a long line of wheelbarrows. You know, sometimes he's...
"I'll get it, McGee." 97 Wistful Vista. Molly McGee speaking. Who? "Oh, hello, Mr. Wilcox."
Oh, Wilcox. Hey, let me take it, Molly.
"Be quiet, McGee. I can't hear." "What was that, Mr. Wilcox?"
Molly, that's an important call. I've been expecting it.
Gosh, dearie. I can't hear what he's saying. "What did you say, Mr. Wilcox?"
But
"Yes. I'll be glad to take the message."
Oh, now I'm sunk.
"Yes. Yes.
Oh.
All right. Yes. Yes, I'll tell him, Mr. Wilcox. Well, thank you for calling. Goodbye." "McGee,
Huh?
What on earth goes on anyway?
Well, I might as well admit the whole thing, Molly. I never felt right about it anyway.
About what?
About the... Oh, hey, wait a minute. What did Wilcox say?
Well, he said to give you this message and you'd understand.
Yeah?
He said, Elks Club, punch board, 2 weeks ago, deliver this week.
Elks Club, punch board 2. Oh, so that was it. Now I remember. Oh, boy, is that a load off my mind.
Is what a load off your mind?
Oh, it wouldn't interest you, Molly.
But it would, McGee.
Huh?
You're interested enough to send me this lovely candy. And I'm interested in your affairs too, dearie.
Okay, I'll tell you. You see, the Elks wanted me to act as chairman of the boxing committee a couple of weeks ago.
Yes?
I said I'd think it over, so I delivered my acceptance today. Simple, ain't it?
But what is this about a punch board?
Oh, that. Well, that's what the fellas call the boxing committee. The punch board.
Oh.
Oh, hey, hand me a piece of that candy, will you, Molly? Give me 2 pieces. Give me a handful. Sorry, folks. Our time's up. Good night.
Good night, all.
Ladies and gentlemen, you have just heard Fibber McGee and Molly, Valentine Candy. Tonight's production of Fibber McGee and Molly is brought to you by Greenbelt Art Center, directed by Rikki, Lacewell. Your cast is Nancy Linden as Harlow Wilcox, Stephen Foreman as Fibber McGee, Aria Renee Curameng as Molly McGee, Shamar Martin as Messenger, Neil Twohig as Old Timer, Mark Granfers Hunt as Mayor Latrivia, Amy Kraft as Mrs. Uppington, Jim Pasquale as Wallace Wimple, and Jim Adams as the Foley artist. This is Harlow Wilcox speaking for the Greenbelt Arts Center Old Time Radio Series, inviting you all to be with us again next month. Good night.